smack bang down the middle of Erangel. We're going to go north to south. So this should pretty much allow everybody to be able to get into the usual drop zone. No one really has to have any pressure of getting further distance. I mean, if you were going to say there was anyone who may have a bit of a further time, it'd be teams down kind of the west coast area. So Ghost looking towards Prim. You're going to have Tempo Storm looking towards somewhere around that west coast area, the Badlands as we sometimes like to call it. Ghost actually opting to go out a little bit late. In fact, it's Alliance who have gone last. So now have Alliance
and Space Station, I think.
I mentioned this early in the last game. Is a team going to realize, okay, Rogue isn't here? We've got Millie Island open for the taking.
We didn't see anyone go there last round, but we'll keep a close eye on that. Always fun to see what happens at Military. Looks like Ghost landing there.
I like it.
And Alliance, but Alliance more that central location, the center of Military. No real challenge there. And, you know, Ghost has a lot of looting to do by that bridge. So something to look out for in the future, I suppose. Either Ghost going towards the Military. I don't expect that to happen. I guess it depends on where the zone goes. But then these bridges, of course, always going to be a big part of the story in PUBG. If anyone's on Military, these two bridges, only two abilities to really get across the other island unless you go by the water. So we'll have to see if anyone decides to really keep a close eye on those bridges. But I'm looking out for FaZe, obviously, to do a little bit better. I'm looking out for the Knights to do a little bit better. I'm really going to keep a close eye on Energy and Space Station because of how well they were doing in that first round. And we'll see if they can keep it up. But for now, FaZe back to Milta. It's exactly what they did in the last round. They're kind of a Milta team. Vitality going to the same place as well as the last round. But for now, of course, we're going to be looking out for that first blood because once again, we have bounties going on here at the PUBG Pan-Continental. So if you get first blood, you're taking steps towards a $2,000 bounty. So we'll keep an eye on that. But we have the zone dropping down, top, middle, very similar actually to the last game. Yeah. So not on Military. So we're going to have to see a lot of movement once again from the south side of this map, more towards that middle. So we'll have to see if anyone really, you know, we heard in those interviews they're talking about the edge guarding it a lot, and some teams making a little bit more of a risky move, trying to go a little bit deeper in the circle. So I wonder if we're going to see more of the edge play, or if we're going to see more teams really try to get a little bit closer to the center of that circle.
You love to see it. Circle, not much water in, so if we're going to have a good one, it's going to be this one. Kind of same scenario as previous. But will things fare different for FaZe Clan, unfortunately? Again, they are coming into this off the back of a rather unfortunate loss. I mean, everyone can say, oh, they didn't make PGI, blah, blah, blah. All right, fair play. They didn't make it to the biggest stage in PUBG, but they still came fourth. They missed out by one placement. They still give it their all. They still went there. They're still proving that they're an amazing team, but pretty much an appalling game number one. Shout out to Hexete for still, you know, at least speaking after I can't imagine after a loss like that, it's easy to do, and you've got to kind of bite your tongue a little bit. So still getting involved, and Dave speaking to the players, kind of saying, you know, what went wrong. They arrived late game, they arrived last, and they just hit a brick wall of C9, to be honest with you. Rather unfortunate for Fuzz, I think, the vehicle as he jumped out, because he knew that he saw there were a player there, started shooting, so he bailed. I think the vehicle clipped him on exit, so that's a bit of a poor situation, because it is a man like Fuzz who can kind of win those 1v1 scenarios. That's how individually talented these players are, but almost identical to the previous one. Everyone will be nice and chilled. Totalitaire up here, chilling in Yasnaya Polyana, because there's no liquid. You wouldn't see these guys in here if there was a liquid, let me tell you.
You hear that plane overhead? I know a lot of PUBG players are very used to that sound. We'll have to see where that ends up going and who ends up making a move. I want to say, though, I love that feature we saw of Andy Pyro getting a good amount of his story there we saw before this round happened. And he is on Method, and they are currently situated pretty nicely in the circle in that Pachinki area. So Method potentially setting themselves up for a nice round. Optic, meanwhile, going straight back to Roz, and that's you know, right at the center of the circle once again. So Optic, finding themselves in the center of the circle and for the second round in a row. And we have Team Gates there you see in that area as well. So those are the three teams, Method, Team Gates, and Optic, that are really close to the center of that circle. So we'll keep an eye on that as we see the crate there dropping in the middle right-hand area of this circle. Nice little AUG in there, 5.56 military. All that level 3, a nice little ghillie suit. So we'll have to see if anyone makes a play towards that. Meanwhile, Energy Envy, I'm going to be really curious about how that unfolds in the top right, because they're kind of close to each other, and they got a decent distance to go, and they're kind of split up at the same time. So I want to keep a close eye on those two and see how that ends up unfolding. I'm
trying to see if it's actually, I don't think there's any European team over at 100 points. I mean, Alliance is there with 175, but with Brexit, I don't really call them a European team anymore. It's more a UK team. That's a good thing. We can cast it. Well, we're not European anymore, boys. Man. We're UK. We stand alone.
hey,
Gotta hit politics.
It can work out sometimes. Best of luck.
You'll need it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're going to start seeing these moves happen here as we have just over a minute left. And I was kind of wondering if we were going to see any earlier moves once that circle plays down, especially from FaZe. But FaZe, they're staying efficient at Milta. FaZe is still at Milta, looting around. So we saw them really, get exposed for doing that last round where they weren't in the circle and they had to kind of go a decent distance. And they were the first team knocked out. So we'll have to see if FaZe changes it up a little bit. And Vitality is close to them as well as we get another shot of that crate. Looks like no one really going towards that. I guess no one really seeing it. Echo from Team Gates kind of going in that area, but not able to find that crate. Maybe they saw it drop and was looking for it and wasn't able to find it.
Groza's, in my opinion, like best gun in the game. I mean, fair enough. You can say, oh, well, AWM and all that lot. Okay, yeah, it's good. It's the biggest, nastiest gun in the game. But still, when these final engagements, it's long range.
Yeah.
These final engagements all come down to close quarters. If you're running into a final circle with players alive still, and you're rocked up with level 3s and a Groza on the back, if you can get the silencer on the end of it, just for the 5% deviation, because you can't put a comp or a flash on it, because then it would really be too damn OP. It can attach the silencer. If you whack that on the end of it, the Groza's just, it's so accurate, and it doesn't really have much of a spray pattern. I mean, okay, obviously all these spray patterns are quite random. It's not like CSGO where you can practice a spray pattern over and over again. That's why I think you've got to learn to just either tap fire or control these weapons and go with the flow, so to speak. But yeah, the Groza fires so accurately, and it's the damage of an AKM. It fires super, super fast. I love it. We'll see if FlyQuest
two crates here on the map, and it looks like Punich and FlyQuest going to be the first.
Which is this? Is it the AUG or the Groza?
We're going to find out here in a second as Punich goes forward, investigating what's going on, and he is going to pick himself up
a AUG.
Yep.
So I think more importantly, I'm not a fan of the AUG. Since the nerf came in, the 5.56, it's another 5.56 gun in my opinion.
Okay.
It's just there's nothing really special about it. It's a good gun, but there's nothing
fine with your Scar
special. I'm an AKM boy.
Okay.
I'm 7.62 man.
Okay.
So for 5.56, it's good. Yeah, I'll give it that. More importantly, it's the level 3s.
Gotcha.
Like, because level 3 helmets can no longer be found on the map, they're not a world spawn. It's the sniper rifle. It's the sniper's meta. It's the DMR's meta. Your marksmen have a field day. And when you got people who really good snipers that can pip a face at 300, 400, 500 meters.
Yep.
It's fun to watch. Rafi with the budget helmet, that's not fun to see. You got the level 1 on. If someone just pops you in the face, you've you kiss your backside goodbye, unfortunately. So you need those level 2s going into this circle.
And I don't believe that crate on the right hand side that we're seeing on the screen has been investigated.
No, the 2 stripes means you're a full one. If you see the other one, it'll be fully red now. So the 2 stripes does mean that's going to be a nice. They've been tagged up pretty hard. The car's smoking, and their life's they're about 30% HP. So
yeah, I think it was Envy kind of. That's what we were talking about earlier. I think probably Envy and NRG trading some shots there in the top right as they're trying to make their way towards the circle. We're getting a shot here of Envy, check shooter, and Jesse kind of running their way towards that zone as we see NRG sneaking around the right-hand side. Meanwhile, FaZe, they're starting to make their move from Milta. They're trying to group up in these vehicles. We've got Vitality moving up as well from the bottom right as we'll see what happens with FaZe here because, again, they were knocked out. They were knocked out first round. They were the first team knocked out in our first round. So they definitely, there's nowhere to go from here. There's nowhere to go but up. They have 5 points.
I don't like Jempty being the scout. This is just my personal opinion, right? Jempty is one of their strongest fraggers. The man is... He's a brick house. He's a monster. He's an insane fragger. Why does he lead the pack? And this could be a question that everyone, the pro players, like, why is he even bother asking this?
No!
Generator's gone dead.
What is he doing? Envy is so split up right now, man.
Caden go the same way, please. Caden should just split from this line. Nope. I'm gone.
Envy
Bye-bye.
is so split up right now. Like, what?
It's good to do. It's good to have these scouts because then, again, the rest of you'll lose one player as opposed to losing multiple.
But they're so deep in the circle. I mean, they're bound to run into a team, right? It's like, it's inevitable. Like,
oh, Caden, no. No, 2 players
that's
might
what I'm
see
saying.
Me.
Like, there's nothing.
Oh,
there's no safety there. He's trying to sneak on by. That was a clever maneuver.
Don't flip it. Oh, balls. He flipped it. Yeah,
that's
run.
Get it up.
Run,
get up.
sweet
Get
prince.
the motorcycle
You don't even have a back.
Come on, stop flipping. All right, we're not playing an Neymar here. One flip. He's getting shot at, though. That's Smithy from Totality trying to land some shots on a Caden. That's a quick motorcycle, though. And his health is so low, though, for Caden.
Oh, single tap. Single tap 16's day.
Okay.
Okay.
Staying sneaky.
Everything is fine, Alex.
Everything's fine.
Everything. This is fine.
Yeah.
.png.
He's going to go find his team, I would expect, and report back his findings. Or he might just tell his team to come up to the north because it's kind of empty up there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
The north is clear, boys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, FaZe making their way deeper in the circle. That's what we're talking about. They're not messing around with the edge. They kind of went straight to the middle, but now they're kind of in between 3 teams.
Yeah, going back to what I was speaking about earlier on, that Gemty's, right. I'm going to have to pause again because this could be Mexi going down if he sees the face. All right, he's got the car.
It's close.
They don't realize that H-Win's here. 6 times on the car 98. It's a nice weapon, nice scope as well.
Yeah.
He's patient. He's just going to wait until he gets the prime target for the face.
Look for that head to pop up. That's what he's looking out for right now. Now we got some shots, and there we go. Now they know they're there, just like that.
Gone again.
Gemty gone.
Same again. This is the thing, like, Gemty always goes first.
He's kind of looking around, and then he found himself.
He's one of their main fraggers.
Yeah.
You can't have one of your #1 fraggers going down early game like this. You're losing so much. It really upsets me to see. It really does.
Was he trying to check out Pachinki or something?
Trying to find an area. That's all they've got to do. They're trying to find somewhere, but it's just rather unlucky that they're running into teams that have already moved early.
Yeah, and that space station. Remember, they won. They won in round #1, so they're feeling good right now. And FaZe are definitely known. They're kind of sandwiched.
Yeah, if we can go back to that map again just really quickly to kind of give these people at home exactly the overview of how many teams. Look, Knights can see them. TG, if they look at school, probably won't be able to see them. Vitality, if they move in, will be able to see them. SSG can see them. Method might be able to see them. That's a rock and a hard place. That's a yikers from me.
Hey, but if anyone can pull it out, maybe it's FaZe.
Yep, 100%.
They're like challenge accepted. Bring it on. We want to get some of those kill bounties, so they're going to have to really focus in. But meanwhile, Method being distracted a little bit by Tempo Storm a little bit to the left of him, and they're just jumping in cars and running.
Nail him from the window here.
Driving straight towards him, but now kind of peeling away. Let's see what happens here. It's 2v4. I'm not sure where the rest of Tempo Storm is, actually. I think they might be split up a little bit. Seen some fire exchange. Method is like, okay, we want to loot here, but Tempo Storm was already here. I'm pretty sure they already looted all this area, so we'll have to see how this unfolds. Is Tempo Storm kind of backing up? Looks like the two additional members of their team get to kind of regroup as they realize what's happening here. 4v4 situation between Tempo Storm and Method. That's Andy Pyro looking to get some good shots here as Method just charging into this compound. They wanted it, and it looks like they took it, and now it's up to Tempo Storm to try to take it back if they want to. But we'll keep an eye on that.
Andy with the K9 as well. Keep an eye on the kill feed, see if he gets a knock. Initially, Zampa
they're surrounded, man.
Finds another player from FaZe. This is what I mean about the third party. FaZe just coming under fire from several different angles. They're not in the greatest of position once again. They're out in the open. Texas gets battered off the end of the bike.
Knights.
And so does Voxic as well. So, C9, they pick up 14 points and 2 players, Knights. Back to back. Remember, the Knights have qualified for PGI Berlin. You were talking about this in the previous.
I was hyping them up, man.
They've got to prove that they deserve.
They do.
Not that they deserve it, but they've got to show what they're capable of.
Yeah. I mean, it's a remarkable opportunity here.
That could be good. That could be good.
To really make something happen. But as it stands, they're caught, as you mentioned, a rock and a hard place here.
One player left.
Kind of just driving through the zone, which more on that later on my opinions on that. But they just ran into Cloud9 and they just got shot up. Two of them gone. I think only two, actually one up here, just straight in from Knights. He's going to try to be the savior of the team here.
So I didn't expect this.
Try to
going
pull
back
off
to a 16-team meta from a 20-team, I thought we'd have less kind of early engagements and less of a mess. Hexet has actually been picked back up, so Fuzz does keep 3 members of FaZe still in the game, but they're getting tanked up from school windows, so they have to be very careful on that one. Drayden's literally just begging that somebody kills FaZe and at least gives him some kind of not dead last place.
Yeah. All teams still up, so no last place from this round just yet. And I don't know if it's everyone just trying to move more quickly, maybe a little bit more confidence, but
C9
really quick movements in the circle.
They know he's there still. I think that
are they going to converge?
It looks like they're backing off actually.
It's hard to say what they're thinking. I mean, there could be one there. There could be another team in the distance. Maybe they're just playing super cautious. Don't want to mess with that. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go a little bit further. But as I was saying earlier, just we're seeing a few teams just caught off. Like Knights there was just driving across this is the zone near the middle, and it's like I don't see how that ever kind of works because you're inevitably going to run into someone. So just very curious to see that.
A couple of teams running scared here. Caden's going to put some fire down onto Dignitas.
Oh, telling his teammates where they are, too.
Yeah, he's going to be on his tail. They're actually pulling up.
Oh, it's a great move. What a play there.
Well,
Envy That's good communication, but that's a motorcycle, so he's just going to get out of there. But a lot of damage taken. So close to taking those 2 guys out. And that, we mentioned these teams splitting and the strategical advantages there. Caden was able to communicate that Dignitas was in the area to let his teammates know, and they hopped off and took some shots, and it almost paid off for him. Almost
Tempo
taken out.
Trying to hit Method from 2 different angles here. They've advanced into the
Cloud9's
middle.
behind him, too.
Yeah, so they've got to be really careful they don't overextend. They're trying to get an angle onto Method, maybe pincer them from the side.
And
Drayden literally just...
Yeah, Drayden still just, just proning
moody
in the grass there. That's my strategy with 5 people left. And the circle's really small.
I mean, he's holding his bandages, just praying he doesn't have to use them again.
Yeah. That's
he has
a tough
the
spot. I mean, they're in the middle. He's in the middle of the open right now. He's in the middle of the open with just using hills and just the long grass as cover. So I think he's just hoping the circle just zones in on him. I think that's his plan right now. So we'll keep an eye on that for Drayden there from Knights. But as you mentioned, Method kind of holding down that compound. Tempo Storm, again, kind of looking in that direction. Definitely know that they're there. That was the initial exchange that happened. Method kind of taking over that compound from Tempo Storm. So we'll see if Tempo Storm still tries to take that back as the circle zones in. And it actually does go kind of onto Drayden. So Drayden going to be maybe just chilling a little bit longer in his little secret spot. But the big movements are going to be happening here from Dignitas, NRG, Envy. They're the furthest away from this zone, so we'll have to see if those moments happen. And look at this space station moving incredibly quickly. I really like that move. Right when that zone is revealed, trying to just find a good spot right away. But we see Alliance here. They're watching him come in and trying to take those shots.
But you saw from one of those players they didn't have a helmet, so these guys have already been tanked up. He's also at 50% HP, so they've been battered upon arrival. They're kind of in all kinds of danger here. They're all spread up in this building fight. A team like Alliance isn't going to bother trying to take them in a building. There's no point. Why bother push them? You run the risk of losing a player for 7 points. It just ain't worth it.
And it's still early.
Exactly. There's no point. They're inside the circle. With a circle like this, you won't see too much movement and too much of a rotation come through because it's fallen where people are. They're already chilling. They're already happy. Why do they really have to move anywhere? There's not a massive rotation. You still have teams like NRG and Dignitas that have got to kind of work the way in. I like this shot. This is nice.
Yeah, we're seeing a look of at space station.
What would be Inception is if they actually managed to get the over shoulder of the player we've got on screen. That would be some next level Inception.
I'm hearing echoes of challenge accepted from production, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I love the fast movement there from Space Station, just getting into that zone right when it's revealed and finding a nice little cozy spot. Meanwhile, Drayden from Knights, we're always gonna keep talking about him because he's still alone, really close to Cloud9. We'll see what happens there.
I've seen the size of him.
Is he muscular?
He's a big lad.
Yeah.
Can
he beat me in an arm wrestle?
I think he could beat us all in an arm wrestle together.
At once. Wow.
I think he could put both arms out and we could try and take one each, and we probably wouldn't even come close.
All right. That's impressive.
It is.
Probably get a shot of that later and maybe ask him about it in an interview. But can he translate that fortitude and that strength into this match here?
I'm glad you picked up on it.
Yeah. As NRG actually on the right side, they're trying to move in here, getting a shot of that. But FaZe is in that area as well. But it looks like Method is the one that's taking shots at NRG.
It's an interesting one because look at how split they are. I mean, fair play. If Xceti dies, at least they can back off. But if he does get in an engagement, how do you run a 3 versus 1? You don't. Okay, now they're moving. Now the advancement's coming in. You can still see from Fuzz, he's looking at the teams in the distance.
We're hearing some heavy rifle shots, by the way. So
I think it's warning shots at this stage. No one's really going to go massive, big flanks, big rotations. You know as a player that most of these buildings will be taken now, or at least all the prime locations. SLR, dirty weapon, nasty DMR. We'll take out the wheels here. So Ghost, they built themselves a little fort, but it's not going to be mobile after this one. All right, they've still got a car in the back.
Yeah.
They've got 2, so they can probably get away with that one.
I mean,
unless you can see the tires, actually.
All it takes is one grenade.
Wow, that's
what I'm saying.
That's a banger.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're hearing these very high-powered rifles going off, and they're getting some shots. FlyQuest.
Eat him under the car, I think.
FlyQuest, they're in a pretty nice spot here. A decent amount of cover, and they got some powerful weapons, and they're using them effectively. I'm pretty sure a little bit earlier, I saw FlyQuest shooting at Tempo Storm all the way across and actually landing a shot. So,
it was so impressive because it was through the through all like the bushes and shrubbery.
Yeah, FlyQuest, as you can see on the map here, they were shooting towards Tempo Storm all the way to the right. See, you can see those shots there. They know they're there. They're taking sniper shots really far away. We're seeing it right there. So they're taking those shots from really far away, and they're actually hitting some.
So this is where it gets interesting. You've got Drayden up at the top there, last man standing, literally on the edge of the circle.
Yeah.
Wookie Bookie, big boy sniper rifle in play. You got the M24, so he at least gets one shot off, and now they're moving into Vitality to try and make something else happen. Monkey takes a couple of shots to the chest, but the northern edge of this circle is where things get really treacherous because there's about 4 teams who are probably going to collide.
Yeah.
Method, though, 2 members.
Wow.
Of
what?
FaZe. They're down to 1.
FaZe trying to get into the zone really quick, but Method was there. They're in a great spot on the edge of that circle in a compound. They saw FaZe coming and getting some great shots. Only Hexede is around. And NRG, they're in the same area, so they're trying to go do the same thing that FaZe did, but I'm sure they saw what happened earlier. Team Gates is also in that area as well, but right now we're seeing a shot of Vitality. This is Vitality against Dignitas at the moment, as they're trying to take control of this bottom left circle, but we're seeing a ton of movement right now. Even Optic at the north side is trying to come in. They might run into Drayden, and C9 is there, so we might see Optic against C9 happening soon as well.
He knows it. He can hear the footsteps.
Yep, there's Drayden. He's looking both directions. He's been in this spot the whole game, and there Drayden, no!
And that's it.
You know, good job.
Optic send the Knights home, another European team, finishing in 16th place. That's Sokobe. Will that find a target in any way, shape, or form? It does!
Wow.
Good God.
Just like that, Cloud9 feeling the hurt from Optic. That's Optic sneaking in from Waterworld, coming into that north side of that circle, landing in an excellent grenade. But at the same time, Tempo Storm also shooting up in that direction, so I have to keep it on that. Meanwhile, Method is keeping NRG out of the picture. And what is that?
How's he in life?
That was a vehicle jump straight over the last member of FaZe here.
Only in PUBG.
And certainly, FaZe will be 15th. As wait a second.
This could be good as well. Yeah, if it trickles down, it does. And
that can't.
So that's a 16th and a 15th placement.
Oh man.
For one of the world's best teams.
Okay.
What a rough start.
Yep, there it goes. Yep.
You hate to see it.
Well, hey, we're only 2 rounds down out of 12. So this is the second round out of 12 here this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So, you know, there's plenty of room to come back, but FaZe, as you mentioned, 16th in the first round, 15th here in this round. So they're certainly going to be trying to regroup and figure something out going forward. But it's interesting, you know, all teams lasting a pretty long time in this round, you got to say. I think it took till the 3rd zone for Drayden to be knocked out there from Knights. So all these guys really trying to sustain themselves as long as possible. As we're taking a look at Andy Pyro from Method. They're chilling in that compound. They've been there since they took it over from Tempo Storm. NRG trying to sneak into the zone, getting right at the edge here, but dealing with some a lot of pressure there from Method. Method taking a lot of shots there.
No sight on that one. As Optic, they do make their way down the hill.
Optic against Cloud9 here at the top.
It is, and all of a sudden they're getting third party. Look at that. Tempo Storm coming in. That's an M24 long distance. Valiant. He's
they're shooting at Optic.
buried him.
I feel like they could have an angle on Cloud9 too if Tempo Storm would kind of peek in that direction.
More grenades from Optic.
And there we see.
Goes for the drill, takes out 2. Gets answered back, but I think that's 3 members of C9 down. I think literally Moody's just chilling in smoke, snaking away.
They're kind of in, you know, they're very much in the open, and they've been here, and they're trying to control the north side of this edge, but Optic storming in, and they're pressing the issue, taking out Moody, stabbing Riem. That's Optic doing what Optic does. Looks like Hetcher dropped by Moody, but he's probably going to no, he got picked off by Taro from Totality. Totality from the left side, now looking in that direction as well. So Totality from the left, Cloud9 from the south, Tempo Storm from the right, Optic having to deal with all these directions, Optic taking out Cloud9, and from here, we might be able to breathe a little bit, because Optic has a little bit more room, Totality a little bit far away, but Totality actually taking shots at Tempo Storm at this point. Right now we're looking at Method here, though.
Got to be careful, didn't overextend. He wants this, he wants to get aggressive.
So close to NRG
I respect it. He's getting up close and personal with the Vector. Opts to one side. He's still got 8C there on the left-hand side. They can work together. This is a perfect pincer.
Look at this play.
Working as a duo to just clamp them in. 1, 2. Third one's there as well, K-Mind. He's down. They've now got to find the 4th person.
Yeah,
but what a way to work together and just pincer a team and collapse like that. That's
so decisive.
Amazing.
Too. They're like, all right, let's do it. We got a position here. And just picking apart NRG. NRG, nothing much to be done. They're in a kind of an awkward spot, not really sure where to go. and they were dealing with a lot of suppression from different directions and energy taken out.
Quite a lot of time we've been seeing, probably over the last 6 months, a lot of teams like to sit back, they like to chill, they like to just kind of get the little house, but seeing things like that gives me hope, and it's nice to see teams actually taking fights, getting stuck in,
and by the
getting
way,
kills.
there is one still alive from NRG, that's Snark. He's still alive and made his way to the zone.
Kill feature's still a light at the moment.
Yeah, look
Mossy
at this.
as well also. TG
Alliance
falling to the hammer of Method.
Alliance
they come in as well.
completing out NRG. Method taking out Team Gates. There's a lot of firefights happening all across the map. There we see Space Station and Envy going at it as well. That is at the bottom side of the zone. And Optic actually, in totality, Optic trying to drive straight into the zone. It's not going to work out, and Optic falling to totality just like that. And gosh, I feel like they knew they were there, but they just decided to jump in vehicles and go for it. Totality, waiting a little bit longer, and it's paying off. Meanwhile, we're seeing Ghost and FlyQuest going at it here. As plenty of exchanges there, as Ghost getting the better edge of that. But FlyQuest returning back a knockdown on Balak from Punij. And
the grenades are going to come through as well. They're still trying to advance forward. He does at least get the knock onto one Shaq. He'd also go down. So that's the third player down here for FlyQuest. One person alive. Steezy B, dead and gone.
There
1, 2, 3, 4, hit the deck.
Yeah, that's a Ghost everyone was hyping up there.
They pushed him as well.
And
FlyQuest wanted that fight.
Yeah, and FlyQuest, they've had a great game so far, getting those heavy snipers, getting a lot of good action here in the early part of the game.
Reels.
But they're taken out just like that by Ghost, and Ghost, they're going to be pumped about that, and they get that area secured. Meanwhile, look at this. This is Reels from Alliance. He's getting taken out by Caden from Envy. That's a mini. But Method, they're having to scramble. I think one member of Method is down, having to be revived, and they still have a decent way. Okay, they were able to sneak inside the zone in the safe zone there.
Caden just did him a favor. Literally just did them a favor.
Did he just look away?
By third partying and Reels, checking out Alliance. That's actually give Method the breathing room. He does go down. Maluk again, cross map, finishes, gets the knock, gets the kill onto Molman.
Man.
They've been lurking for a while though. This Tempo Storm fight started at the very beginning of the game, if you remember.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of continuing late game.
So Caden, I wonder if we're looking at Space Station right now. I wonder if they know Caden is there.
I don't think they do.
Because Caden is exactly where Space Station wants to go. So this could be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. For now, though.
Some looks. Okay, so you look at what one solo damage has just done to Method. One guy on his own like this has just kind of caused them all kinds of problems by eliminating another player at least. He does get the knock, but he is revived. Bullet to the brain, comes flying across the map, lost HD. See you later, Maluk. That's Tempo Storm gone. And, 6 teams up, 19 alive.
And Caden from Envy did end up getting knocked out by Space Station there. So Envy finishing, I believe, in 7th here. As Space Station able to identify Caden. And, you know, that's something you got to do. Caden, he's a player who can really make some noise happen. So really good awareness, some maturity, and patience there from Space Station as they're heading on over to where Method is, trying to press the issue. Method, a little bit of trouble here on the right-hand side of this zone. And look at that, Space Station just collapsing into that area, taking out Method just like that. Space Station. Remember, they won in the first round here, and they've got to be feeling good. Taking out both Envy and also knocking out Method, and now making their way to the circle. We have 5 teams remaining. Dignitas, Vitality, Ghost, Totality, and Space Station here in round 2
they
of our
forced that
PUBG
engagement.
Pan-Continental.
I like it. They forced the engagement.
Yeah.
They knew exactly where Method was. They said, okay, boys, if we clean up this team, we don't have to worry about anybody behind us then. We can kind of follow suit and follow the circle. Totality do have to be very careful. They're going to be taking this fight. If they do take the fight
Taking
uphill,
long shots.
It'll be a downhill struggle. Dignitas have set up a little bit of a wall here. They've got vehicles on this defilade hillside.
4 up.
Oh, Wookie's got a 24 as well.
4 up for Dignitas to only the 2 from Vitality. And
look at the gear though. Level 1 helmet. It's only 30% damage reduction compared to something like 40% and a 2 and a 55 if you can get a crit. So the level 1s are worrying to see and concerning. But still, 4 players alive is a big bonus and a big positive.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, Vitality only has 2. Ghost has 3. Otherwise, we have 3 full squads in action. Totality, Space Station, and Dignitas. And if Space Station can take this one too, and it's like it's not as unlikely here as they still have a full squad up. That would be incredibly impressive if they could they can take this win here, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Totality is actually going to do them a favor because they've got eyes on Ghost from the back line. So they can literally, if they start smashing Ghost a bit, say, look, Vitality has come under damage. Ghost has come under damage. The teams on the opposite end of the spectrum, Totality and Dignitas, they're going to be sitting happy that both teams got 4 players alive.
Yeah.
If everyone else is dying around them, happy days for them. They can crawl up the leaderboards.
Yeah, and Space Station here taking shots at Dignitas. Dignitas looking back in that direction. What a shot from Wookie. That's a headshot on a Vexel from Space Station, and they're going to respect that area for sure. Dignitas knowing they're there, but Space Station in a great spot in the zone, honestly. The first one's there. They just got to hold tight and play strategic here as they pick up their teammates. But they're in a good spot, and they know where teams are coming from. So I still like how Space Station looks right now.
Chop, chop. Mucky Bucky, the land giant himself. I'll be removing his helmet, so if anything from SSG, they've taken away a little bit of utility. He's now going to be bald and running around and taking the full amount. I think it's 250% damage multiplier to face regardless.
Yep.
McCoy still 4 kills in the bag here for Ghost, 3 players alive. No helmet again, so this is the problem when you've got no helmet, you're literally just, you're asking to die.
Yeah.
It's so cruel because you can't really do much, especially if you take a one-on-one engagement with a spray. You're just going to get melted every single time.
Hope they don't have a helmet, I suppose. McCoy. This is Ghost against Totality. Neither team is in the zone, so they're both slowly making their way in that direction. Taro taking shots at Turtle here. Got Profi here from Ghost. Trying to do a little bit of scouting here. As you mentioned, no helmet there. Got to be super careful.
Dignitas are in the best place here. This could be, as long as they can kill off SSG from the backlines, or just keep getting knock after knock. Finally Adam onto Monkey, so that's the French boys down and out in 5th. 15 alive across 4 teams.
Yeah,
this is tasty. It's going to be that third-party system. Who goes after who first? You got 2 battles either end of the spectrum here. Down the bottom side, Ghost versus Totality. Top end, Dig versus SSG. Yeah,
and it might be the winner of those 2 fights that end up being our top 2. So we'll keep an eye on that. Profi taking some shots on Taro here. We got Ghost moving closer and closer towards Totality. All of our teams are pretty much in this zone here, so we'll have to see where it moves. It's going to be moving pretty soon here. Taro still kind of outside the circle. A little bit vulnerable there.
They're lacking so much gear. I'm seeing no helmets across the board. There might be one between them. This is brutal, man. I mean, it's a ballsy play to go
for Ghost.
To be pushing them. I respect it. They're individual shooters and they're really, really good. But again, M4s, you're seeing SMGs. Wookie again, another headshot with the knock comes through.
Yeah, and
M24 is so powerful.
Space Station. They're still around, though. All 4 are still up. They're able to revive each other.
They're pushing it.
Oh, wow. Dignitas, they're pressing the issue. I mean, they have to make their way to the circle. They don't want to just run to the smaller one. So here we go. Dignitas coming in, but Space Station knows they're there. They're going to turn around at the same time, the exact same moment. Ghost and Totality exchanging a lot of shots, too. But Space Station doing a great job. They knew they were coming, taking 2 out. Only 2 up here for Dignitas. 1 down. That's Kane. He's gone. Smurf with the kill there. Oh, what a shot onto Wookie. No. And that is Space Station from round 1, and it just extending their performance of skill here in round 2. Dignitas is pressing the issue. Space Station held their ground, and they were able to take down Dignitas. 3 teams left.
What did I tell you? Those level 1 helmets, they're just, it's like a knife through butter. The K9 comes in, finds its target. Dignitas go down. It was a great effort. They tried, but unfortunately, things just didn't go their way. 10 kills in the bag for SSG.
Crazy.
This is insane. You got Smurf on the back lines again with the SKS silence tap.
Great eyes here. Great vision here onto Totality as well.
Double headshot as well, so he's knocked him and finished him back to back with the headshots from the front lines. I mean, they're in 2 different angles. They're just.
And not only that, Totality is still feeling a little pressure from Turtle, from Ghost, who's the last remaining member. So only 2 up from Totality, 1 up from Ghost, as Space Station able to knock down another. Finally, Ghost is going to be knocked out, as Space Station and Totality are the 2 next, and it's 4 versus 2. It's inevitable. Smithy, unless you go absolutely nuts here, this will be Space Station's win, and then Smithy's gone. There it is. Space Station again. What is going on? What is this team taking round 1 and round 2?
This is amazing to see. SSG, plenty of kills in the bags as well, so it's going to shoot them even further. I say up the leaderboard. They're in number 1 as it is, but it'll just make that gap between the rest of the teams even bigger.
Space Station showing their confidence. Chicken dinners, round 1 and 2.
Well, there you go. Space Station Gaming yet again taking a chicken dinner with 12 frags. But Totality, you have to hand it to them. I expected them to go high kills but not maybe get the placement, but my word did they turn it out at the end. And I almost thought the Smithy was going to clutch it. Martin, break down the end of that for us.
It was super close. I mean, Totality coming in from the north, the shift towards them, Space Station Gaming taking down Dignitas to that win. That was absolutely insane. But in the end there, honestly, Totality was close. They got a few knocks, traded knocks, but Space Station Gaming taking a back-to-back win here. I didn't expect that, to be honest.
Man, Totality was wrapped up with Ghosts for so long.
Yeah.
Space Station Gaming was able to finish their fight with Dignitas with phenomenal speed and be able to turn their attention completely towards Totality. So fantastic play coming out from Space Station. They talk about 40 lands and they've never won one, and they come in here and win 2 in a row.
Exactly. I mean, I know they did really well in Auzom League recently in North America. I think they topped that competition, but they seem so prepared for anything Space Station, especially when we saw them fold in on Method earlier, Poro.
Yeah, whatever they're doing right now, whatever changes they've made in their shot calling or in their transitions and their rotations, whatever it is, it's working out phenomenally well, because I've never seen Space Station play this lights out before.
No, honestly, I didn't expect them to be able to take the eastern side, because there's so much pressure on the eastern side, and they just forced their way through, keeping 4 guys alive, taking prime position, and just keep on pushing.
Well, that was another action-packed round, and so of course we've got a highlight powered by Rockstar Energy for you.